Coming up right now, the numbers are in, and if you're looking for love, you likely won't find it in one of the most popular U.S. states.
Also coming up, joining one New York City gym is going to cost you 3 times the average house payment.
A little bit later on, a Beverly Hills housewife is catching heat after giving her 16-year-old daughter a very expensive gift.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash for this Wednesday, halfway through the week. Matt Doolittle will be checking in
Hi,
with
Maddie.
him as well.
Hello.
Maddie, how are you hanging out over there?
I got a question for everybody. So, at what age do you stop caring about just walking around the gym at, like, you know, your LA Fitness or Sport, just naked?
50.
What age?
58 for
Okay.
men.
Because
Okay.
I go in the middle of the day
I
because of our schedule, and there's older men there.
Yeah.
And it's just
don't
old
care.
naked guys walking around. It's like, put a towel on or something. Come on.
And not to get, in the women's, is everybody walking around? We have towels.
Yeah, most of them wear towels, but yeah, I get it. It's uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
don't care for it.
It's like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
it's
see my
weird.
future.
It-
It's okay. I don't need to see the future.
I think what it is that it's much like how women wear clothes, and correct me if I'm wrong, women
Yeah.
wear clothes for other women, more or less, so they want to
Yes.
look good. So
Yes.
if you're walking around naked or whatever, it does show everything. But for guys, you get to an age, because I'm closer to that age now, where I don't care anymore, man. I just
got
don't care.
you.
And that is why you're seeing these
You just
many
don't care.
guys.
I mean, it's just there, and then they're sitting on stuff. You're going, no, put
I
a towel
would- I
down.
would-
Come on.
I would not sit on anything without a towel, I can promise you that.
Blow
That's for
dryers
sure.
are everywhere. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think, putting the towel down is an
Yeah,
extremely
no.
important
Oh
part
no,
of
just flat on the bench.
gym behavior. What about restaurant behavior? Have you found...
I've walked naked in restaurants many
Yep.
times, yes.
Have either of you guys worked in a restaurant?
My parents own restaurants.
so
I didn't
you
trust
know.
myself.
So there's a list of rude behaviors that have been brought about by restaurant workers, by
Okay.
patrons that come in, and they say, look, when you walk in the door, the host is not necessarily the low person on the totem pole, so don't treat them like
Oh,
crap.
really?
So that's one rude behavior. The other one is like snapping fingers at food servers.
Oh, I can-
yeah,
that's-
ordering something that's not on the menu and expecting it to be prepared. Sending back food, obviously, is
Yeah.
another big one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid to send back food.
Oh, me
first
too,
off. I
yeah.
think it's important too if it's really way off. It was like when I ordered the steak tartare. I don't send anything back when steak tartare. I had no idea that was just raw
Beef
beef.
carpaccio, you knew.
I
but
thought-
steak tartare, you were not aware of. Yeah.
Watch the movie Waiting, and you'll never send anything back
100
again. And that was based on local restaurants around this area too.
Yes.
Here's what a general rule is when I go to restaurants. If it's in a college town,
Yeah.
meaning like college kids, I think of Waiting, that show.
It was based down by University here. The Bennigans
yeah,
used to
yeah.
be on the University Boulevard here.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, never send back food. That's always, you're risking it.
You're gonna get the Batwing.
Yeah.
You're gonna
If
have
you
to.
do that, you're getting the Batwing.
No matter what. All right, let's move on to some trending news. And according to research from Spokeo.com, the Sunshine State has been ranked the actual worst state for singles looking for nub. Right?
We're gonna put that
Nub
in
or
there.
love?
Looking for love. The website says it actually used several factors to rank each state, like mental and physical health, politics, and debt. Spokeo claims the Sunshine State's notorious for identity theft and fraud, which actually could add to the challenges of navigating the dating scene. Now, for those of you who are curious or bi-curious to know to look for better dating prospects, website has identified 5 states as the best option for singles. Here they are: Massachusetts, Mississippi, Louisiana, Michigan, and South Dakota. So if you want to go to those, I lived in Mississippi. I don't see it too terribly far off from what Florida's all about, but I guess with the identity issues.
Same with Louisiana.
Everybody-
I think that's a bogus survey.
Spokeo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but everybody
please.
filters into Florida, where America's like kind of
Suck.
junkyard. Yeah,
Yes.
everything gets like filtered down to here. When they're done up there, they come
Yeah.
here.
So back in revolutionary times, they would send all the prisoners and bad people to Georgia. Really, Georgia was much like London would send all the people to
Australia.
So that same concept was Georgia. But then they go, hey, there's Florida, all these beaches. Let's just everybody move from Georgia down to Florida there. But we do have a lot of people, most of the people that live in Orlando, it's hard to find like true Floridians.
This is true. Yeah, that were born and raised here.
I'm one of the few born
one
and
of the
raised,
few,
and I've left
yeah.
here 5-6 times, and I ended up back here.
But there's that saying, like, if you want to not be found again, move to Florida. Further south, the
Yes.
Keys.
Okay, I agree
you
with
know,
that.
you want to
That's
get
true.
lost permanently, you go to the Keys.
Okay.
That's
You
one
can
option.
do it.
Yeah,
Very
you
simple.
can.
Very close to Cuba, too. If you
Yeah,
think of it.
very true. Want to find a new way to get in with the A-listers? Try adding your name to the waiting list for Continuum. It's the exclusive new $10,000 a month wellness social
What?
club in New York City. The flagship gym is considered a health retreat featuring a luxury lounge and gym where membership is limited to just 250 VIPs. Continuum is the latest gym in the premium fitness sector. A specialist with the help of AI designs a personalized wellness plan after a series of testing is done on you. The company plans to add locations in Miami and LA as soon as next year.
Now, if I'm going to this gym,
I'm
I'm
naked.
walking naked
I'm naked
everywhere
the whole
I
time.
go. I don't care.
I am
I'm walking
naked.
in naked. I'm walking out naked. If I want to.
Those
for
bench
10
press spots are going to be weird, though, when you got to get over to somebody. And
having that exclusivity, there's going to be people that will pay it, obviously,
Sure,
because
yeah.
if there's a market there and they already said they're going to branch out, is sometimes people don't want to go to the gym that's crowded and that sort of
Yeah,
thing, and you
I
want
get
your
it.
own time there. But it seems like if you can afford $10,000, you can just make your own gym.
Build your own gym.
Yeah,
exactly.
somewhere, even-
Somewhere in your mansion.
Even if you imagine like buy like a building somewhere, and for $10,000 a month you can do
$10,000
that.
a month, right?
lot.
It does seem like a lot of money.
Beverly Hills housewife Kyle Richards says that she's fine and with her husband buying their 16-year-old daughter a $90,000 Porsche. Kylie actually said her youngest daughter, Portia, deserves a luxury sports car as her first car.
because her name's Portia.
It's a play on word. Her other daughter, Hugo, not so happy. Richards defended the pricey park tag, saying that her car wasn't as expensive as reported. She also claims that her daughter is a good driver, straight A student, good kid. Family had a rare appearance together after Kyle's estranged husband moved out back in May, 9 months after they announced their split following 27 years of marriage. Still to this day, I don't care what you say, how good they are in school and what they deserve. You're buying that car to show off for you.
Yes.
You're saying, look what I can afford my kid.
I used to hang out in a rich people neighborhood a little bit, and I saw 16-year-olds getting Land Rovers like once every other week. Every kid in that neighborhood had a Land Rover.
The only way I'll excuse it if it was like passed down and Dad got the new car or Mom got the new car and she got the old.
That was
Land
mine. I got a
Rover.
Pontiac. I got a
Yeah,
Grand Prix
that
because my
makes
mom got an
sense.
Infiniti.
Even if it's a couple years old, it's not, at least.
Your first
it's past
car?
it. Was a Rabbit, Volkswagen Rabbit.
Okay, mine was a Honda Accord.
Honda Accord.
Hatchback.
I bet you it's still driving these
Probably
days.
does. Yeah. Well, I wrecked that darn thing when I was 16, which is another reason
So
why
did
you
I.
should not give a 16-year-old a $90,000 car because eventually they'll roll it or wreck it
It's
somehow.
gonna
right?
happen, right.
So I rolled that car and it got totaled, and then about a month later I saw it driving back out on the street.
told me
Someone
that
else
story.
had bought the car.
And you knew
And
because
then-
of the bumper sticker,
Because
right?
the bumper sticker had "I love my MTV" on the back of it. And I was like that and a Billy Idol sticker, and I was like, "That's my car!" I pulled the guy over. I'm like, "What are you doing driving my car? You wrecked it." And he's like, "Oh, I just bought it from the junkyard for $100."
And yeah, and
Driving
knowing that
just
it's, and that's the thing, those
Yeah.
Hondas will go back, especially the ones they built back then, will go forever.
Yeah.
So, all right.
An 81-year-old Boston woman who drives trains for the Massachusetts Transportation Authority was named the world's oldest train operator by the Guinness Book of World Records. Helen Antonucci, who started working for the MBTA at the age of 53 in 1995, has been driving the Blue Line trains for nearly 3 decades. She was named the world's oldest train operator after a coworker applied for the record on her behalf. Antonucci, who is approaching her 82nd birthday, said she has no plans to retire, adding that she will bring passengers to and from where they need to go until the organization tells her she can't do it anymore.
All right. Which you think should there be like age limits for people that are driving? Here's the thing about it. When you're on a train and they leave the blinker on that long, that's always an issue.
You know they're never going to turn.
They're never going to turn because they're on track. Should there be age limits? One of the hardest things that you'll hear, like families that have older, maybe their grandparents or parents rather, taking the license away because that's like their last bastion of freedom and be able to go out. But then you think about a train or even a bus or that sort of thing where you're hauling other people around.
Yeah.
It is kind of scary. But if she's passing all the cognitive skills and that sort of thing, why
Exactly.
not?
Because I think that I think we've seen it recently where you can have an 80-year-old who is 100%, cognitive on the money, and you can have somebody who is also in full-on dementia. So it's sort of like, well, why discriminate against one person if they're totally capable of doing the job.
I kind of like having an 80-year-old woman driving because they're not
They're
hip
not
on
on the phone.
because how many stories have we heard
That
about
is a
that?
great point.
You think about that. It's
A
like
20-year-old will be on this phone driving the train, and then before you know it,
crash. You never know what happens.
The 80-year-old, not so much.
We'd love to hear what you have to say
Yeah.
about this. Should there be age limits on jobs that require, over general safety? You can also go to our website, dailyflashshow.com to sound off, but you can also drop us an email at flash@dailyflashshow. We'd love to hear from you because then we share your thoughts, not only on social media, but also on the show.
Sound off. We're
Yeah.
back right after this. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Much has been said about the gut-brain connection, meaning that healthy gut bacteria may improve our brain health. Joining us now with some natural ways to improve our gut health is nutrition and health specialist Sarah Baker. Sarah, welcome back to Daily Flash.
So much for having me. I always love chatting with you.
Yeah, you've got great information and you've got some tips for us today on how to improve our gut health. Let's start with the first one. You say remove offending foods. Please explain.
Yeah, so I always love starting with like a gut reset for a lot of my patients here in Chicago. And I always recommend a 21-day kind of protocol that removes a lot of the common trigger foods. So these common trigger foods are going to be gluten, dairy, soy, and processed sugar. And of course, processed foods, they're kind of like all known to cause inflammation in the gut, which leads to issues like leaky gut syndrome, IBS, and other digestive disorders. So when you eliminate these foods, you really give your gut a chance to heal and reduce this inflammation. This helps improve your nutrient absorption and just your overall gut health. And it can also help identify any food sensitivities or intolerances that may be just kind of like contributing to your gut issues in a whole.
Okay, the second thing on your list, you say breakfast, have your breakfast and make it up of protein and produce.
Yes. So you really want to focus on like what are the nourishing foods that you can add to your diet if you're being mindful of what you should eliminate. And I always say start with what you're consuming first thing in the morning. So a breakfast of protein and veggies not only helps repair the gut and helps keeps your cravings at bay, it really works on regulating your blood sugar. So when you avoid carbs and even fruits for breakfast and you move them later to your day, you really help stabilize your blood sugar fluctuations and it prevents spikes that can then lead to more cravings and gut issues down the road. And then bonus points if you can start your day sipping on bone broth or lemon water with ACV, apple cider vinegar, because bone broth is really rich in collagen and nutrients that help repair the gut lining. And lemon water helps you increase your hydrochloric acid, so your stomach acid, which helps you break down your nutrients even better. All of this helps reduce bloating, inflammation, and just helps you kind of repair the gut.
So if we can set aside our coffee for a few hours, you say go ahead and start with the bone broth. Is it okay to have coffee, if we're trying to clear out our gut health? Because look, most everybody loves a good cup of coffee first thing in the morning.
For sure, for sure. That's the number one question I get. And I always say, as long as you are pairing a healthy fat and a protein with your coffee, you're good to go. So a little hack I always recommend is adding some collagen peptides unflavored to your coffee and either heavy cream if you're not doing a gut reset, just for general purposes, or when you are doing a gut reset, adding in coconut cream. And it actually makes your coffee into this delicious concoction that's healthy, healing, and also stabilizes blood sugar.
Okay. Wow. So adding more gut healing nutrients, including the bone broth and the coconut milk for the coffee. Excellent advice.
Yep.
What about timing between meals and your bedtime routine?
Yes. So it's really important to allow 3 to 4 hours between your meals because this helps what's called the migrating motor complex. It's the natural system in our gut that helps move our digestive system and moves food down and out of our gut. So it gives our digestive system time to properly break down everything and helps with absorption from the foods that we eat. And so the most important thing is going to bed by 10. And this is really, really important because our natural circadian rhythm helps us digest and detox overnight. So research shows that when we have disruptions within our sleep, such as like staying up late or waking frequently throughout the night, this negatively impacts digestion, detox, and repair, which can lead to obviously, inflammation, intestinal permeability, and then all those common symptoms like bloating, weight loss resistance, and then puffiness from that inflammation.
What would you say, Sarah, is the best cutoff point when we should maybe have our last meal before bedtime? Is it 3 hours? Is it 2 hours? Are we safe with 1 hour? What would you recommend?
Yeah, I love this question. So I typically recommend at least 3 hours if you do not have sleep problems. So have your meal at 7 if you go to bed at 10, or have your last meal at 6 if you go to bed closer to 9. That then also gives your body more time to repair other systems within your body, like liver, brain, lymphatic system, instead of focusing on digesting all your food. If you notice that you wake up throughout the night, you might benefit from having a late night snack like 30 minutes before bed, but you want to make sure that it's a protein and a fat source. So that could be, like a little chomp stick with, almond butter, or, something simple like that, just to help your blood sugar overnight.
Yeah, I just heard somebody suggest having a spoonful of peanut butter before you go to bed. And I was like, what? I've never heard that before, but they said it has helped them sleep through the night.
Yeah, and there's definitely truth to that, because when you have a good healthy fat overnight, it kind of just helps stabilize your blood sugar levels. And a lot of people wake throughout the night because they experience a blood sugar dip. And so when your blood sugar declines overnight, then you kind of wake up, because in order to increase your blood sugar levels, your cortisol levels have to increase, which causes you to arouse. So all in all, all these nutrition tips, they're very bio-individual, so everybody benefits from different shifts, but all the general tips I included can really help everybody.
Yeah, some great advice. I'm just going to run down our list one more time. Remove offending foods, breakfast of protein and produce, great advice there. Adding more gut healing nutrients, and timing between meals and bedtime. All very thoughtful ideas. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go, Sarah?
Yes, I have a few other additional little tips here. I always have tips up my sleeve. My last one is all about aloe juice. So sipping aloe vera juice before bed can have a really soothing and healing effect on the gut. So aloe vera contains compounds that help reduce our inflammation, support digestion, and helps us be more regular the next day. So drinking a small amount of this really kind of helps everything.
Sarah, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for this terrific information. And for more information on Sarah, you can check out her website, sarahnicolebaker.com. You can also follow her on Instagram at Sarah Baker Health. And we will post this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com. Stay with us. Still plenty more to come here on the show. We're back right after this.
Well, the rumors are true. Kendrick Lamar and DJ Mustard filmed their official music video for their hit single, Not Like Us, in his hometown, Compton. Footage from the shoot surfaced online showing loads of people participating in the music video that had fans buzzing earlier all this week. Fans filled the streets of Compton before Kendrick even showed up. But the real party started once he pulled up with DJ Mustard. I'm telling you, it was a huge party. Kendrick got a chance to film the video in his hometown, and Not Like Us debuted at #1, and it's currently sitting at #6 on the Hot 100 after 6 total weeks on the chart. Even Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. says the diss track winning a Grammy might not be conventional, but now it definitely is possible. I can't even believe this. Kendrick Lamar performed this song 5 times to close out his historic pop-out with Ken and Friends that took place inside the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California. Even Snoop Dogg had some kind words for Kendrick. He's basically summing up that he's the king. I don't know if he's the king of Compton, the king of rap, or just the king in general. This is Fabian Marcano. You just saw the beat. Catch me for more at dailyflashshow.com.
This week on The Scene with Doreen, I got to sit down with multi-platinum selling artist and progressive rock legend John Anderson of Yes. Check it out. You've been responsible for so many brilliant musical compositions over your expansive career. Does it ever bother you, though, that some people out there with your incomparable body of work still just want to talk about your commercial hit, Owner of a Lonely Heart?
No, it's fine by me, because I always think that the next album I do, there's got to be one song that really hits the charts, shall we say. And sometimes it happens, you never know. But I love singing it.
It was played in heavy rotation on MTV, and it was even in the Grand Theft Auto video game, introducing a whole new generation of fans to Yes's music.
Yeah, I'm very blessed on many levels. And I remember we did an album in Vancouver, and I wanted it to just be for video games, music for video games. And the management thought I was an idiot.
Originally, Clive Davis passed on the song, saying it was, too strange and wouldn't be a hit.
I love that. I love that. Clive, what a guy.
I guess Clive was pretty wrong.
Sound out the galleon to travel to cross, close the space between pastures is rightly attained.
You really didn't start playing an instrument until your late 20s?
True.
Yet, on your first solo project, Elias of Sunhillow, you played every instrument on that album. How is that even possible?
Well, basically, over the period of 2 years before that, I was picking up instruments along the way. In America, I would pop into a secondhand store. I think it was at that time Steve said he was going to do a solo album. Chris said, I'm doing one. I thought, okay, I'm going to do one, but I'm not going to do it with a bunch of musicians. I'm going to lock myself in the garage and do a solo album by myself.
Yes, you did. And I heard that creating that album almost drove you to the point of madness.
Oh, yeah. I'd have, 1,000 people singing, 1,000 people playing drums, 1,000 people playing harp and keyboards and the guitar. And then I had to put them together because in those days, you didn't have a click track. So I'd have 4 Revoxes, which are sort of an oldie world sort of a tape recorder. And I had 4 lined up, and I'd switch them to go in time and record them. And I'd switch and switch and switch. And after about 2 days, they still didn't come together at the right time.
Oh, no. Yes.
So 5 days later, I was going crazy trying to figure it out. And I think I fell over and switched on the machine and fell asleep and woke up in the morning and thought, what happened? So I pressed the looping button, I pressed it, and the music came and the drums started, that was good. And then the rhythm started, and oh gosh, that's good. And then the singers came in and, wait a minute. And then the bells came in and everything was, I fell on the floor.
John, congratulations on your new album, True, with the Band Geeks. It's really incredible and so reminiscent of what made the partnership of Jon Anderson and Yes so special.
The Band Geeks are just the best prize present that I've ever had. It's just a lovely idea. The album is such a fantastic concept, musically speaking.
Yes.
It's all about making the Earth Mother truly what it should be, which is the Garden of Eden.
JohnAnderson.com. Get the new album True with the Band Geeks and come see this incredible visionary and creative genius live on tour.
Oh, wonderful, Doreen.
Do I love Jon Anderson? Yes. And if you want to hear more of our wonderful conversation, you can visit right here. And for now, I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So glad to have you here along. We're going to get you all that information you need to get your day going on. We go now to Australia, where a museum there, it's called Mona, which means the Museum of Old and New Art. Mona, M-O-N-A.
Okay.
All right, really interesting. Well, back a few months ago, they had made an exhibit but they would only allow women to go in and see it, right?
Okay.
And so it was a women's only, basically art event. Well, guys were like, well, it's not fair. I mean, the museum's supposed to be for everybody.
everybody, sure.
So a judge came out and said, listen, you can't do this. You got to open up the doors for absolutely everybody. They go, okay, no problem. Well, an American artist, I don't want to give her name, says, all right, well, no problem. I have a new installation that I'd like to present. And she brings all these arts of Picasso and puts them all in the women's bathroom. So if you want to go and see, this art of Picasso, now not only that, like a very famous painting from Picasso, right above the toilet too, in the women's room. So the only way you can see it is go into the women's bathroom. So everybody's up in arms right now. They worked around it, I guess, is one way. But also, if a judge came out and says, listen, everybody has to do it, if this is an art exhibit for women only, you say women only, but the judge also said, listen, you can't do that. Now you're going to have guys in the bathroom.
Couldn't you have a guy just be like, for 5 minutes, like, yeah, I'm a woman, and walk in, and then be like, all right, I'm back.
I identify as a
woman. I want to see
In this
Picasso.
day and age, you probably could.
Can't see
There's
why
an
not.
argument for
And
that.
on the way out, I'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm back to the other
No,
side.
listen, that's not how it goes. If a guy walks in the bathroom, he walk out and go, do not go in there. Right?
They have a couch?
They have a couch? How come they sell stuff on the wall? We don't have a vending
You don't have
machine.
anything. So much nicer.
You do not want
You don't
guys
stick
in
to
your
the
bathroom.
floor. Things are pleasant. It's great.
Now, here's the thing. If you're hanging a photo in the bathroom, are you hanging it on the stall door in the women's restroom? Because if you're hanging it on the wall in the stall, nobody's going to see it.
Well, you'd have to walk. Well, if a guy would.
Well, a
because
guy would.
would be able
A
to-
guy would be able to see if it's facing the wall,
But
but
the
it
woman
needs to be
wouldn't.
hanging on the stall
They said
door.
this one is right above the toilet. So,
So then you have to.
you would have to stand and look at the toilet
Put a
as well as
mirror
the
on the
Picasso.
door. Well, yeah, you could put it. Well, no, it'd have to be on the stall door.
Well,
It would
it's
have to be on the stall door.
abstract.
In the
If
If
women's.
it's super progressive, no stalls. So.
Well, that's true. There is a restroom here in Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Center. The women's restroom has a huge chandelier in it.
Oh,
See,
would you?
I can
That's one other
appreciate
thing
that.
that you guys don't have in your restroom.
we
Jeez,
don't
you
get
guys
nice
have
things.
everything in there.
According to research from Spokio.com, Florida has been ranked as the worst state for singles looking for love. Again, this is Spokio.com. The website says it used several factors, I'm sure it did, to rank each state, like mental and physical health, politics, and debt. Spokio claims the Sunshine State is notorious for identity theft and fraud, which can add to the challenges of navigating the dating scene. I think that's true anywhere these days. For those curious to know where to look for better dating prospects, the site identified 5 of its favorites. Here they are for singles. They include Massachusetts, Mississippi, Louisiana, Michigan, and South Dakota. Now, I'll tell you off the top, Massachusetts and Michigan are 2 of the most expensive states to live in.
I could imagine that. Maybe there's, and I think Louisiana and Mississippi, since they're next to each other, that's interesting that those 2 make the list.
And
Is it
South-
availability?
I don't know. And South Dakota. That's
South Dakota,
kind
I
of a
never thought
random
that.
place for singles.
And when it comes to, listen, when I got on the dating scene after I got divorced, I wasn't going to go, gosh, am I going to fall victim for identity fraud? Am I, you know what I'm saying? Because you do. That's why you go on a second date or the third date or whatever. That's when you find out about the person that you might
you
be
do some
wanting to date.
research.
Yeah, you
know?
got to. It's interesting that they use those factors for politics and that sort of thing. It seems like if you're looking for a certain type of person, you're going to go to an app that's going to help you find those type of people.
Yes.
There's a lot of left-wing dating sites. There's right-wing. There's animal-loving sites.
Oh yeah, there's a farmer.
You can't
there's
date the
farmer
animals,
websites.
though. I think that's what
That is illegal at this point.
That's South Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Dakota,
there's all kinds. It's just weird where they get their
It
information
sounds very
on that.
skewed to me,
I think
and that's
so.
my opinion. But it
Florida,
sounds like
because
it's like
Florida's
how come-
also a mixed mash of people from all over the country. We don't have people.
True, but I feel like it's a lot of hate on Florida right now.
It's
Yeah.
easy to hate on Florida.
It's easy. Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, we're going to be going on the scene with Doreen just a little bit later on. She's actually talking to Jeff Tate, frontman for Queensryche, the band
nice.
Queensryche. So we got that coming up around the corner. Of course, we'll have your trending news and information.
Coming up,
Yeah.
stay with us. DailyFlashShow.com is our website. Check it out.
So what are the keys to healthy aging? Well, research suggests that genetics contribute only about 20% to the cellular aging process. While you can't change your genes, you can certainly control your health habits. Here to help is double board certified integrative medicine physician and founder of the Center Spring MD, Dr. Taz Bahita. Welcome, Dr. Taz.
Hi, thanks for having me. Well, we may think our true age is our chronological age, the number of years since birth, but the reality is that aging really starts within our cells, known as our cellular or our biological age, and it can be due to factors like genetics, but even more importantly, lifestyle, and it may not always match our chronological age. Think of your body kind of like a complex machine with cells as its tiny gears and parts. Oxidative stress is a natural cellular process caused by free radicals, and these are tiny molecules that can cause damage to cells, proteins, and DNA, which impacts their efficiency and contributes to the aging process. Now, luckily, our bodies have a defense system, antioxidants, that help neutralize these free radicals and defend against age-related oxidative stress. I always tell my patients that a healthy diet and lifestyle is important at any age, but as we get older, it becomes increasingly important to really support your body's natural antioxidant defenses. So it might sound cliche, but eating right, exercise, water, and good sleep are crucial to supporting your cellular health. I also recommend that my patients add supplements to their healthy diet and lifestyle, and that's why I have partnered with One A Day. One A Day just released Age Factor Cell Defense, which includes key ingredients that support cell health and resilience. It's formulated with antioxidants, including olive polyphenols from olive fruit extract, which help defend against oxidative stress and have been shown to make a measurable impact on biomarkers associated with cellular aging. It also has omega-3 fatty acids, which I love, resveratrol, vitamins B3, C, and even D to help support cell resilience as you age. One A Day is also really going beyond the supplement to support your healthy aging journey with the Age Factor ecosystem. Now, this ecosystem includes the supplement, a free wellness app, and a saliva-based biological age test by Chronomics. The app and the test will give you valuable insights on your habits and how to make incremental changes to support your healthy aging journey. One A Day Age Factor is available online and at retailers like Walmart or Target. Now, if you buy Age Factor on Amazon, you can claim 10% off by using the code 10AgeFactor. And you can learn more about the Age Factor ecosystem and download the wellness app on shop.oneaday.com.
Thanks for all those great tips. We'll have them on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Hey, Jackson!
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
So, Matty of Birkenshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, dog and cat! It's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the media.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Well, it's back to school, back to work, and back to the fall. From home musts to easy treats, quick meals, and more, we have the scoop on everything that is making life better for the whole family. Here with the scoop is lifestyle expert Joanne Butler. Good morning, Joanne.
Thanks for having me. Well, the back-to-school transition can be really hard for parents and especially kids, so it's crucial to help make the return smooth, but also fun. A study actually found that 93% of parents agree it's important that kids get a chance to be kids, and Kinder Chocolate here wants to help them do it. And they're creating what they call bite-sized moments of togetherness and fun with their chocolate bars. I love this idea. My kids just love these. When I come home from the market, they get so excited. And they're shareable too, which is great. just this yummy outer layer of smooth milk chocolate and that creamy, milky filling. They're small, individually wrapped, so that's great too. Perfect for the lunchbox or an after-school treat. And they come in regular, large, and mini bars. And starting this month, a new 20-count lay-down bag of regular size for $5.99 right here. And you can find them at grocery and convenience stores like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS, pretty much anywhere. Next up, I always make my shower experience a self-care me time. So we're gonna go over in the bathroom. I'm gonna show you my OGX. They've reintroduced a few of these best-selling shampoo and conditioning duos. Same iconic bottle and scent you know and love, but now it's even better with new formulas that are like skincare ingredients that protect hair from damage and loss of proteins and lipids, which are really what make our hair strong and smooth. It's a really rich and hydrating lather. Makes your hair immediately softer and healthy after you use it just the very first time. This one's made with real coconut milk. It smells amazing like all OGX products do. And they have no sulfates, parabens, phthalates, microplastics, or dyes. Target, $10 each, can't miss it. Another one of my favorites when I like to go wavy or curly, Maui Moisture. This is their lightweight hydration and hibiscus water shampoo and conditioner. This will just leave you with really soft, smooth, and weightless, really healthy strands without residue. 100% aloe, the first ingredient. Plus it has passion fruit, juicy watermelon, safe to use on color-treated hair, vegan, again, no sulfates, silicone, parabens, or synthetic dyes. Target, $8. Now, a recent survey of millennial parents found that 41% said their toilets were clogged by their kids putting something in there that they shouldn't have. Toys being the #1 culprit. More than half needed to call a professional plumber actually for help, but no need to call one with this baby. This will literally flush all your worries. It's the Champion toilet from American Standard, virtually clog-free, and can even flush this entire bucket of golf balls. I mean, look at this. It has the industry's largest trap tray, 4 inches, and it just gives you a cleaner, more powerful, efficient flush every single time. Saves water, will cut down on your utility bills significantly too. Plus, it even fights stains with a special technology that prevents bacteria, mold, and mildew. Comes in a whole range of designs that integrate seamlessly with their collections. American Standard Champion, it's on sale right now at stores like the Home Depot, Lowe's, and Ferguson's. You cannot miss it. And there you have it, our must-haves for an easier fall.
For the second year in a row, VA hospitals outperformed non-VA hospitals in 2 major nationwide reviews for care quality and patient satisfaction. Joining us today is Sharif Neto, Undersecretary for Health at the Veterans Health Administration in the Department of Veterans Affairs. Doctor, why is the VA care the best choice for veterans?
Well, the main reason VA is often the best choice for veterans is our workforce. About a third of our now more than 400,000 employees are veterans themselves, have served and defended our freedom and understand what that experience is like. And so many more of our employees who may not be veterans themselves have a veteran or loved one who is close to them, a parent, a sibling, a child who served this country. And so for them, the mission is very personal, and they also understand the military culture and can meet veterans' needs in ways that other institutions might not be. On top of that, we have, I think, the best trained and performing healthcare workforce in the country because we are actually part of the training process for more than 70% of doctors who graduate from medical programs. And so we get both the best trained and most veteran-centered workforce who are able to achieve these results.
What would you say to those veterans who do not use VA for their care?
Well, my humble request to them is to consider VA healthcare, even if VA said no to you or otherwise mistreated you in the past. You know, President Biden signed a really important law in August of 22 that opened the doors wider for so many more veterans to enter VA healthcare. And as of March 5th of this year, every post 9/11 veteran who was deployed to any of the missions in support of the global war on terror, any veteran who is exposed to toxic substances either here at home or abroad can now enroll in VA healthcare regardless of what their healthcare conditions are or whether they're considered connected to their service. And so the results we're talking about today directly compare non-VA hospitals to VA institutions, and 58% of VA medical centers score either 4 or 5 stars on the overall hospital quality star rating, and 79% of VA medical centers score 4 or 5 stars on the patient experience star rating, all compared to only about 40% of private sector institutions. So we're really proud of these results, and we hope that you enroll.
Where can we go for more information?
You can go to va.gov/PACT to apply for healthcare, and you can also Google CMS Care Compare, type your location into the search box, and then you can see all the choices in front of you, whether they're VA hospitals or non-VA, rated on the same scale so that you compare in your community close to home. And we hope that you do that so that you can make an informed decision on where to get your healthcare.
Thanks, and we'll have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Anything that we show you here on the show and you miss it and you go, oh, what was that link? Don't worry about it. We got you taken care of. Our website, it's waiting for you right now, dailyflashshow.com. So easy to navigate, so easy to find everything that we've been talking about, as well as all of our franchises. You can find them there, videos, links, and of course, we love hearing from you. There's a, hey, call to action. We want to hear from you. Shout out to us. Just click the button, it'll drop an email, and we can share your comments on the air. But if you don't go to the site, you won't benefit from it. You got to go to dailyflashshow.com. It's made especially for you. I promise. More Flash after this.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye. This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
Guy freaks me out.
Poor B-roll guy.
All righty, hey, welcome back to the big show. We love having you along for the ride.
So, what do you think about Bill Belichick, former head coach of the Patriots, dating a 24-year-old cheerleader?
I mean,
okay, listen. Hey, more power to him. Number one,
Yeah.
I have dated somebody much younger. It's very hard to have a conversation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at the beginning they're like, "Oh no, we get along," but they'll make references,
Yeah.
and I have no idea, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
It's funny because Gronk brought it up on the Julian Edelman's podcast, and there were like 3 things that Belichick always said to stay away from him, and one of them was girls.
Oh, is that right?
And they're like, and he's been dating her for a while. This isn't new. This has been for
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 months already.
And he was dating a gal named Linda for the longest time, and they'd been together for, I think, at least 3 or 4 years. They broke up, and he started dating the 24-year-old. Is she a Patriots cheerleader? I think she
They
is.
met on an
Yeah.
airplane, and that's where they met, and they obviously blossomed from that point. But now they're showing him leaving the house shirtless.
Yes.
And I was like, leave the
That's
guy
like a
alone,
frat guy.
man.
I know.
This is like one of the greatest football coaches ever.
all
Let
time.
him have his day.
He's
Right.
partying now because I mean everybody saw him in those press conferences. He looked like he had a he was
was
stuck up
serious.
and everything. Now he seems all loosey goosey. He's doing the roast. He's going to do the show with the Mannings.
Yes,
during football season.
that's right. I think he's always that guy off camera. I think on camera it was a different kind
I
of
think so, yeah.
persona. And
think he
I
understood
mean,
that.
I think he's definitely earned his right to party
yeah.
now that he's retired. Well, semi-retired, I guess.
And again, more power to him. Keeping up with somebody that much younger could be really his granddaughter, almost, right? So think about
The
it.
More than
gal
that.
that he's dating, the 24-year-old, apparently dated another guy who was about his same age prior to. So I don't know whether she just likes older guys.
There's
There's
some
a
daddy issues right
comfort
there, man.
factor
Woo.
there.
I would just love to hear the conversations, honestly.
wouldn't.
Just
Yeah.
to see. No, I would love to hear like wanting to trying to find out what's an emoji, and then he's trying to talk football. To
What's
her.
a hot
On the-
Tua?
Yeah, hot
on
Tua.
the-
Hot Tua.
On the Twitter,
Yeah,
on the
on the-
tweet.
All right,
Twitter.
I tell you what, we appreciate having you along for the ride. Thank you all so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Be
See you
good,
when we look at you.
everybody. On the gram.